What's good, everyone? I'm back on June 16th, 2026, with another live trading session. I haven't really traded since Friday. Since Friday. Um, Last week I missed Monday and Tuesday, and then this week I missed yesterday just because I stayed up for the UFC event, and I wasn't about to fucking trade off of 4 hours of sleep, so I just decided to skip the day and sleep in. But I'm back today on Tuesday, and I'm gonna get right into it. Overall, higher time frame, obviously I'm bullish. We are going back to all-time highs. We're displacing higher. However, I do see a short-term bearish bias playing out because we have had no rebounds. Um, this 4 hour was inverse, so for it to go higher, it's not displacing off of anything. And now there's this SMT at this high and all this LRL here. So I do expect a short-term bearish bias over here. Um, so I would like to see one of two things. I would either like to see there is no 10 a.m. news or anything, or no news at all, so it can happen anytime. I would either like to see an open low at market open, tap into this 4 hour gap over here, and get a long from there, or get an open high, tap into this 15-minute gap on NQ, and take a short towards these lows, all this obvious LRL. Now, price isn't really displacing off of anything here on this side, but this is just playing conditions, and I can't long from here unless all this is taken. So if there's a clean open high, clean inversion lower out of this 15-minute gap, I would like to take a short from here. But if this is like displaced through, then I would just wait for like a 15-minute gap or something to open up and take a continuation long, a 5-minute or a 15-minute gap, depending on what's sponsored or not. So that's what I'm waiting for, and then at market open, I'll see what happens. All right, so at market open, very weird open because the two assets are completely uncorrelated. NQ started going down at open, and now ES is going up at open. ES is resweeping all these highs, NQ is going down, and it didn't hit anything. It did take out all this LRL, but I'm not trying to long from this LRL because it's not inside of anything. Like, I need a 4 hour retrace here. We're not in a 1 hour, nothing. Like, this tiny ass 15-minute doesn't mean shit. I would not long off of that. So yeah, I am still bearish to this low. I don't know if I would still be wanting to long to this or short to this low from like here. But just because ES is looking so like weird. But yeah, it's really hard to tell. There is so much LR over here. That did all just get ran, but I can't long from here. Just can't do that. There was this inversion, souped all these lows perfectly, Asia low, London low, whatever you want to call it. But there is just no valid PD array for me to use. It's not inside of anything. You could say it's in this 30-minute, but it should rebalance this 4 hour range. It really should. I'm not just gonna long from here, especially the highest time frame. Like this 30-minute holding doesn't really mean anything because the highest time frame gap in this leg is this 4 hour, and the 1 hour didn't hold either. So this 30-minute doesn't really mean shit. All right, so this 15-minute now got hit. So I still would be looking to take a short to here because I still do kind of expect this 4 hour to get hit. All this LRL getting ran, like, it's not really inside of anything super significant that I would expect to send us all the way back to all-time highs, right? So right here is a 1 minute inversion, little 1 minute. So I guess if we can get a clean inversion of this 1 minute, I would hop in a short. I like the structure for shorts. I like the PD array. It's just weird to me. Like, I did expect this 4 hour to get hit, but it could just not. right? For whatever reason. So I'm gonna wait and see. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna fade this even if it happens. It's just gonna be a forward test. Something about it is iffy to me. Like, it just looks like one of those setups that if an inversion here happens, it'll just generate more of these lows and continue higher and go all the way to all-time highs. Like, if it was like, okay, we're bullish all-time highs, but we're like respecting a bearish 4 hour to give us a retrace to continue higher, okay, that would make sense. And I feel like, yeah, theoretically this 4 hour should get hit, but like if you just look at the 5 minute or the 1 minute, like this does look like a clean model, even though when you zoom out, there is no like PD array. I wouldn't want to long from here, but I also wouldn't want to take a short. Like from this low, I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to long right from this low. But yeah, I wouldn't want to short here. It's especially when we're so close to all-time highs, when we're in all-time highs price action, price just decides to go higher for no reason. Like it takes out any type of liquidity, even though if it's not significant, if it's not within a PD array, whatever, not within a key level, it'll go take it out. And this just looks like it is not gonna be bearish, especially with what ES is doing. ES isn't really doing shit. It is just bouncing around. Like ES should be the weaker pair, but it's being strong. So I'm just not going to be bearish. Kind of have a mixed bias here. And I can't really even take a long because there is no bullish gap that has opened up. Ideally, to take shorts, this would have displaced through this low. And then I could have taken a short to this 4 hour gap. But in this case, I'm not even like thinking about shorts. Like this just keeps resweeping the high, nothing clean. I will forward test it if the inversion does happen, but I don't know. I'm not liking it. Doesn't look good. Like this just sequence of highs or lows being built up just looks like it's generating and not going to be taken out. And it's just going to leave them. All right, so here a bearish 5 minute opened up. This is a sponsored gap, and this is the condition that I'll play. If this 5 minute gap is respected, then I'll expect, you know, all these lows to get ran and go for this 4 hour gap. I'll see that as the 10 a.m. open high. Expect these lows to go. Okay, there are no trades to happen here. This 5 minute did get inversed. And this did prove my whole idea that this kind of isn't the best short here. That it'll just stop you out right away, or it'll come down a little bit and then reverse back up off of nothing, or it'll just chop lower, still hit TP, but you would have been break even by then. So this is like a lose-lose situation. You're not going to get a winning trade. You're either going to lose or get a break even. All right, so this ended up playing out, but there was like no entry that I liked. There was just pattern trading and inversion over here. But I don't know. I didn't like it at all whatsoever. There was like the CISD, but it all just seemed like a pattern trade. To me, there was no 5 minute continuation. I wasn't going to take continuation off its rejection blocks. I didn't think it was obvious enough. So here, only thing I'm looking for is too long from this 4 hour like I originally wanted. All right, this 4 hour gap now has been hit. I will be looking to take a long off of it. There is nothing inside of it that I care to be hit. So if it just gets displaced through, then I don't really know. I'm just not going to be trading. Right now, highest time frame inverse is this 30-second. It was not inversed yet, so still counts. If we get it, I am just going to look for a 1-to-1. All right, this 3 minute inverse is right here. I'm going to get in. Idea makes sense. 15 minute respected within the 4 hour. Don't know why I went all the way back down there, but it's all good. Alright, this has now turned into a 15-minute gap, meaning that is now my target. I will just be going for a 1-to-1. This looks like it's going to hit my SL. Not getting any type of rejection here. If I'm being honest, it was not really the best trade that this dumped. Like, the best trade to take was too short, but there was no short that I liked. And I am higher time frame bullish, but I guess that's just not going to play out here. Mechanically, good setup. Discretionarily, it's eh. If it decides to play out, it decides to play out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Alright. Alright, so this setup ended up losing. Was it the best setup? No. Am I happy with myself for taking it? No. I guess it did just seem like a pattern trade. Structure was eh, not that good. And the 4 hour, like, it didn't immediately just like displace off. The 4 hour came all the way down to 15 minutes, so it was a little. I do feel like I forced this trade a little bit. If I'm being honest, that if I saw it come all the way down here, I should have just waited for, like, okay, that it's either gonna run all these lows, or if it is really bullish, it's gonna open up a 5 minute fair value gap, and I can long off of it. And if it happens too late, then so be it. That it is what it is. That, like, the probability of it reversing from here wasn't that high, so you should have waited for it to be more probable, which would be waiting for a 5 minute bullish gap to open up and get a continuation. And that's what I should have done, and I didn't. Ended up losing, and it is what it is. I'm gonna learn from it and come back stronger.